Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. It is the live watch-along Limerick and Kilkenny in the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship Final. We are about, 25 minutes away from throw-in. As always here with the live watch-along stream. We're going to be watching the game live, breaking it down live, discussing the game as it happens, as always, here on the channel. So if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Momentum is building, and look, it is an absolute scorcher out there today. And I'm surprised there'll be no water. I'll be surprised if I don't see any water breaks in there. Maybe you'll see Paul Kinnerk with the little tactics board that he brings in every now and again. Maybe he might have snuck one in today as well. But it is the live watch along stream, Limerick versus Kilkenny in the All Ireland Senior Hurling Championship Final. Here we go. Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. As I was saying there, it is the live watch-along stream for Limerick and Kilkenny, about, 27 minutes away from throw-in. So very, very excited for this game indeed. It is poised to be an absolute cracker indeed, in my opinion. Two of the best teams in the country. I mean, Limerick obviously going for the three in a row. Kilkenny looking to put the brakes on this Limerick side and win their first All-Ireland since 2015. As we very well know, Kilkenny coming in on the back of a big performance against Clare, result that very much surprised a lot of people, including myself. I don't think many people expected Kilkenny to deliver such a big performance, and it was a huge performance. TJ Reid, Owen Cody were absolutely electrifying. Limerick, as always, finding an answer, meanwhile, against Galway. I mean, when they looked, there was a couple of times in that game where they looked a little bit in trouble, but they found an answer. David Reedy coming off the bench, hitting 3 points. You think back, obviously, to the Munster final as well against Clare. I mean, that was a huge performance as well. I mean, there was times in that game where they struggled, but in extra time, they found the answer, as they so often do. And that is the difference a lot of the time between, Limerick and a lot of the other sides as well. Plenty of comments flying in there. Stevie says, where's the stream? I'm right here, my man. Patience is key. Patience is key. That was at 2:30. Jesus, you were early, bro. You were early. Model Farmer says, come on, Spain. Yeah, big game for Spain today. Big game. I'm joking. I'm in Spain. Fair enough. I mean, Spain are, there's a couple of Spanish teams playing today in the Gaelic Games Europe competition, actually. So, you mightn't be wrong there. So, crack, lads, is what Bernard says. How are you doing, my man? Cheever says, go on. Yeah. There we go. I'm not going to say that word, but I do get you. Are you streaming the game in 20 minutes? No, this is just a watch along stream, my man, just as it says in the title. I do believe the game is on RTE, Sky Sports Arena. So it's on in a few places. And look, I would never promote illegal streaming. But if you were to try and find it, I'm sure you could find it on the internet somewhere. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure you could. But no, this is just a watch-along stream. We usually do these watch-alongs, for all the big games throughout the entire season. The semi-finals, we done watch-alongs in terms of the football and all the rest. So plenty of big games. Where can I watch in the US? I've no idea. Mate, GA Go, I'd say, would be our best shout there. Might be a tenner or 20 quid or something like that, which, I understand is probably a bit out of some people's budget. But if you get to watch the game, one-off game, it's all good. But yeah, Sir Klopp says, how are we doing? I'm doing good, my man. Hope you are doing well yourself. I'll tell you what, should we get some team news on the screen? I don't know if there's been any late changes yet, to be honest, but we will see if there has been any late changes. But in terms of the original team news, so this was the Kilkenny side. That was announced a few days ago. So Owen Murphy's in goal, Mikey Butler, Hugh Lawler, Tommy Walsh make up the full-back line, Mikey Carey, Richie Reid, Paddy Deegan in the half-back line, Cian Kenny and Conor Brown in midfield, TJ Reid, Porrick Walsh and Billy Ryan in the half-forward line, Adrian Mullen, Martin Keown, Owen Cody make up the full forward line. Limerick side then, Nicky Quaid in goal, Sean Finn, Mike Casey, Barry Nash in the full back line, Dermot Burns, Declan Hannon, Dan Morrissey make up the half back line, William O'Donoghue and Dara O'Donovan in midfield, Gerard Hegarty, Hayes, Morrissey in the half forward line, Aaron Gallant, Shamey Flanagan, Graham Mulcahy. You can see the bench there now, Cian Lynch. So all the injury rumours about him leading into this game were entirely accurate, not in the side. We'll see if he is included in the bench, maybe, or I'd imagine he'll be there anyway in some sort of capacity, but obviously won't be featuring in the game this Saturday. But yeah, Cheever says, fair play to you, man. You built your way up. Good channel you have now. Much appreciated, my man. Appreciate the comment. Lakaka says, I think Kilkenny could win. Grace says, who do you think is going to win? I think Limerick, to be honest. Limerick have just always found an answer, haven't they? Like by hook or by crook, in whatever way possible, they always seem to find a way, and it is kind of the comparison, obviously, as a Dublin fan myself. I mean, Dublin footballers, unfortunately, have fallen off the boil the last 2 years, but you think of that 6 in a row side, a lot of the time, Dublin just found a way from options coming off the bench, little tactical changes, or just being that bit sharper, or just being a little bit more, dark arts and all the rest. I think Limerick have that, all of that, and this year in particular, they haven't looked amazing or brilliant or as scintillating as what they looked at times last year in terms of that final, semi-final, obviously the comeback in the Munster final, but they keep finding ways to win games, and I think that is why, no matter what Kilkenny throw at them today, I do think Limerick will find an answer in my opinion. In terms of a score prediction, then I think we'll go with Limerick 125, Kilkenny 21 points. I think it will be close for the first half. I think, it will really pull away in that final quarter, I think. I think Limerick will always be deciding control. They'll always be managing the game. You might see Kilkenny maybe go a point up in the game. I think Owen Cody and TJ Reid. I think the usual hitters for Kilkenny will have big games because Limerick don't usually have like a game plan for one particular individual player they come up against. Hence why Tony Kelly has usually always had a brilliant game against Limerick because, they don't focus too much on him. They focus on what they're good at. They focus on what they can do to win the game rather than on the opposition. So I do think you'll see the Kilkenny lads have a great game. The likes of Cody, unless, accuracy was to let them down or something like that. But I cannot see that happening after their semi-final performance. So I can't see Kilkenny going more than 2 points in front in this game, to be honest. I just think Limerick will keep them at arm's length. And then I think as the more the game goes on, you'll see Limerick pulling away. And, they don't concede too many goals as well, Limerick, I don't think they conceded a goal against Clare. Was it one goal they conceded against Galway? So, they're a side that doesn't concede too many goals. So that's why I think a 7-point victory there, in my opinion, will be my prediction. So yeah, feel free to get your score predictions in here, as Sir Klopp says as well. Be curious to know. Obviously, hard one to predict the score predictions, especially in hurling, because there can be so many scores and, certainly a lot to keep up with. But I do think Limerick will run out 7-point winners. Is it a 3:30 throw-in? It is. So it will be 3:30 the throw-in. Just looking at the stands in Croke Park, yet to be fully full, but I have certainly seen plenty of Limerick and Kilkenny fans travelling up here in the last couple of days, so I do expect Croke Park to be fully full. It was interesting actually to see this. The tickets went up on general sale. It was interesting to see the tickets go up on general sale. Obviously, it doesn't happen too often, but probably a sign of the times, the cost of ticket prices and everything else. But yeah, Limerick won last year, time to win again. Yeah, I mean, they usually find the answer, don't they? And I mean, man of the match, in terms of predictions for man of the match, I'd be curious to know what some people think in regards to that one. I'm not too sure who to go with. I just need to fix this camera here a little bit. In terms of man of the match, I think Aaron Gallant has been in superb form, hasn't he? I mean, he's been the front runner for hurler of the year. He's probably the obvious pick. I have a funny feeling Shamey Flanagan's going to have a big game. You know, the potential matchup between him and Hugh Lawler is obviously going to be very interesting. That could be a big matchup. And if Shamey Flanagan gets the better of Lawler, like you could see Flanagan getting man of the match. Kyle Hayes could deliver a big performance. Hegarty's usually been a great shout for these All-Ireland finals. He won man of the match 2 years ago against Waterford. So he could be a big shout. From a Kilkenny perspective, I mean, Owen Cody has been electrifying, and I do have a funny feeling he could be the main man. But Adrian Mullins come into really good form this year, so that is why I do think he could be a very, very good shout. For man of the match, Lakaka says Limerick 123, Kilkenny 227. So Lakaka going for Kilkenny result. Kilkenny are a different animal. I was surprised at how easily they tossed aside a fancied Clare team, a bit like Limerick against Cork last year. Yeah, you know, Kilkenny every now and again just have a habit of producing big performances when you least expect it. I mean, the 2019 semi-finals against Limerick was, you know, the perfect example. Obviously, the last time, geez, I can't get my words right today. The last time these sides met each other in the championship was that game, and Kilkenny, you know, built up, I think, a 9-point lead at one stage, ended up winning up by a point. You know, just about managed to see out the victory in the end. So, you know, Kilkenny have a habit of producing those big performances, but they have also been flat a lot of the time as well, though. Like, they were flat a lot of the times this year, flat against, you know, Wexford and Galway in the round robin. Even against Galway in the Leinster final, I thought they weren't particularly brilliant, but, you know, they do seem to find a way a lot of the time. And, you know, I think the Brian Cody effect is real. You know, it really is. But yeah, let me know your score predictions anyway. About a couple of minutes away from throw-in. Beer was nearly getting overflowed there, but we managed to save it. But yeah, about 10 minutes from 15 minutes from throw-in. Definitely very, very excited. Sir Klopp says Kilkenny 222, Limerick 318. So Kilkenny victory there, I think, if my maths are correct, by a point, is what Sir Klopp says there. I think Kilkenny will give them a big game, but I just think Limerick just always find a way, you know, that way. And look, obviously they're going to get beaten at some stage. They're not going to win forever. There's going to come a time when they will get beat on this run in that they're currently on. But I don't know. Like, I think although Kilkenny were brilliant against Clare, you know, like it was their only really big performance this year, in my opinion. You know, so that's why I think they will. I just don't know if we'll see that level of performance again. And even if they do, I still fancy Limerick to shut them down. I think they'll be better around midfield. You know, Kilkenny have had a few defensive issues there. You know, so interested to see. Gray says Limerick 215, Limerick 118. Presume you mean Kilkenny 118 there, unless you know, Limerick A versus B or something like that. You know, to be fair, Limerick's B team would probably give them a good game. But yeah, presume you mean Kilkenny there. We'll let you away with that one. But yeah, it's going to be an intriguing game nonetheless. 15 minutes from throw. I'm just buzzing for this game to start. I just wish it would start now, to be honest, because you know I'm all ready for this clash now. But yeah, let me know your man of the match predictions as well. If you could hit the like button and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Kilkenny 118. Yeah, all good. We all make those errors sometimes. I've made plenty of them down the years, so yeah. But yeah, I'd say it'll be some atmosphere there as well. I would imagine Croke Park is going to be fully packed with Limerick supporters, because usually Limerick travel quite well. Kilkenny, to be fair, aren't particularly a brilliant, well-supported county, in my opinion. I think they travel quite well for All-Ireland finals, but in terms of the finals themselves, they will show up, but in terms of maybe games in the build-up to finals, not so much. But yeah. Just looking at some potential key matchups. I mean, Hugh Lawler against Shamie Flanagan could be a really interesting battle. Aaron Gallan maybe going up against Mikey Butler. That would be a matchup for the ages, really. You're talking about arguably the best defender in the championship so far against the best forward or potentially the best player. Just looking at it there, Owen Cody going up against Sean Finn. Like, that's a huge matchup right there as well. And Mullen maybe being picked up by Barry Nash. Be interesting to see who goes on. TJ Reid. Could it be Dan Morrissey? Maybe Jeremy Burns. Declan Hannon maybe as well. Like, a lot of very, very interesting matchups. Win or lose, will Cody go? I think he'll stick around, to be honest. I think, the thing about Cody is he's a bit like, you just can't really get rid of him, to be honest, in Kilkenny. Like, and to be fair, like, how could you really get rid of him? It's not like Kilkenny have been, I know they haven't won an All-Ireland since 2015, but it's not like they've been a million miles away. And they clearly aren't, like, they don't have the same talent that they had in 2015, 2013, 2014. That would be, they don't have that kind of talent. They don't have that kind of level of players, but they've been coming close and they've been kind of doing enough to produce big performances to suggest that they're getting very close. Now, if they were to lose today quite convincingly, a bit like the 2019 final, I think you would be maybe a little bit concerned then that there isn't progression and they aren't kind of moving forward. But yeah, you should try and get one of those full screen score templates that other watch-along streams have on soccer, says Sir Klopp. Yeah, I think, that's definitely the plan at some point. A lot of the time it's just it's timing with these things, but certainly for next year's championship anyway, for football and hurling, we definitely will try and increase and improve the sort of production and all the rest. Gray says, who do you think will win? Limerick, I think will have enough by 7 points. I think they'll just have enough going down the home stretch, in my opinion. Both sides just getting their team photos, all the rest here now. I'm sure we'll see the president come out onto the pitch, shake the hands of all the players and everything else there. I'm sure it is quite a spectacle for all supporters who are in Croke Park. If anyone does happen to be there in the game, like, feel free to let me know, like, what the atmosphere is like, or how the game is and everything else. We've got Michael D. Higgins coming out here. I wonder will we get one of them private jets who usually, kind of fly over Croke Park. I'm not far from Croke Park, so it'll be interesting to see if I can get a glimpse here now. Limerick all the way. Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, hopefully it is entertaining. I hope it's not as one-sided as the game last year, because I remember doing the watch-along for Limerick Cork last year, and after about 20 minutes, it was kind of, you were kind of running out of things to talk about, really, because it was kind of game over. There was a lot happening now, to be fair, in the game, and Limerick kept us very entertained. But, I hope it is competitive. I hope it is close. I hope it's sort of end-to-end, and, we get lots of drama and everything else. I think that kind of is the main thing, really. Because I think, if we don't get that, and it is kind of dominant for Limerick, it would be kind of a bit of a worry in that sense. In terms of the spectacle and all the rest. But I do expect Limerick to eventually get the job done. Noel says Cody wants this one to answer the questions people had about him. Yep, and look, 7 years it will be. If they don't win today without an All-Ireland, it's a long time for Kilkenny. They'll be on their longest drought. geez, and I don't know how long, probably since maybe the 1980s or something like that. Certainly since Cody has been there. But I do think he will, even if they do lose, I think that he'll stick around. I actually think it's probably far more likely that he leaves if they win, because then he's going out on a high and he's won that All-Ireland. But then again, having seen Cody down the years, he'll probably think, you know what, I want to stick it out for another year and maybe win another one. He's a very, very ambitious manager. And I think regardless of what you think about him, a lot of people sort of give him criticism down the years for maybe, his respectfulness maybe on the touchline and in interviews, and his smugness sometimes can get on people's nerves. But I don't think you can deny the fact that he is the greatest manager in GAA history without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion. I think Mick O'Dwyer, Jim Gavin probably come close. Mickey Hart's probably not a million miles away, but I think Brian Cody is, by far and away number one in terms of the greatest GAA managers. In terms of, what's interesting though is John Kiley, who's now won 3 All-Irelands with Limerick. This will be his 4th if they win today. I know Cody's won 11 or 12 All-Irelands, I think, in total, probably even more. So Kiley will probably never catch up to Cody, but I think you then have to start putting Kiley in that conversation as well. I think you could arguably say already in the conversation, considering, Limerick were, the year before Kiley took over as Limerick manager, they were beaten by Dublin in hurling, like, not to rub it in or anything. But when you're getting beat by the Dubs in hurling, that kind of tells you where you're at. But Kiley's done a brilliant job since then at getting Limerick to where they're at now. Sir Klopp says Cody is one manager. You never know what he'll do. Who else backtracks after resigning? And what's interesting as well is I think Shefflin would have been the ideal replacement. Obviously, I think he's been waiting in the wings for that management job for a long time. He stepped away from Ballyhale 3 years ago. So Shefflin's been waiting for that job for a while. That's why I think there was a bit of a commotion between Shefflin and Cody, because of the fact that those two, because those two are obviously such, have been such good mates, and Shefflin's been a big part of Cody's team and, all the rest. But I think the fact that Shefflin was nearly waiting in the wings for that job upset Cody a little bit. And obviously he's now gone to Galway. I don't think he leaves Galway after a year if that job comes available, although then he could. So I don't know. It's interesting, but there is a lot of very good replacements potentially there anyway. I mean, Eddie Brennan's another one that kind of springs to mind, to be fair, as well. So, but yeah, the national anthem just about to get rung out around Crow Park. Both sides just doing the march around Crow Park with the Artane Boys Band. So both sides getting very well ready, as we can see. Dara says Limerick bringing it home. I think so. I think they will bring it home, or keep it at home, I suppose you could say. Because it hasn't left there in the last couple of years. But look, Kilkenny, as we very well know, fierce competitors, such a hard team to be, and I think they'll give Limerick as good as a game. I think this will be a very competitive final, put it that way, as opposed to last year. But yeah, Sir Klopp says, I hope this game isn't over before halftime like last year. I want a competitive game. Yeah, I think as neutrals, I think that is what we want. We want a competitive game. We want a game that's going to be entertaining. That's going to be have us on the edge of our seat. Because I think in the last year in particular, we didn't get that at all. We didn't get a competitive game. So, but it was still very entertaining last year, and you can't take anything away from Limerick in terms of how well they played. I mean, they were outstanding last year. They were really, really good. Probably the best All-Ireland final performance of, you could arguably say we've ever seen, in all codes potentially. Like it was unbelievable. Like I think they hit 319 in the first half. Like that's unbelievable. Who was the most senior player on the Limerick panel? I would say, Declan Hannon's been there a long time. Dan Morrissey's been there a long time. Tom Morrissey's been there probably. So I'd probably say them. Nicky Quaid as well. A lot of those Limerick lads have been there quite a while, to be fair, even in the tough times. Obviously a lot of new lads have come into the side, like Hegarty, Galan, Lynch as well. But generally speaking, it is quite a panel that's kind of been knocking around the block for quite a while, to be fair. Just seeing both sides getting ready for the national anthem. The fans look well up for it. Croke Park looks, I would say, 3/4 Limerick. Definitely looks majority of Limerick fans in there. Definitely looks like the majority of Limerick fans in Croke Park in general, to be fair. Let's not forget that although Limerick have won 3 of the last 4 All-Irelands, 2 of them have been post-COVID. So, the 2020 All-Ireland was in an empty stadium. Last year was full, I think, was it? I think it was allowed to be full, or maybe it was 3/4 full or something like that. So, so a lot of Limerick fans wouldn't have been able to actually see their side win the All-Ireland at the game. So I suppose it will be interesting to see what the fans make of it this time around. Callum says, what score is it? No score so far, my man. Hasn't started yet. So, just 2 minutes till throw in there. So only 50% capacity. Fair enough. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember, to be honest. So, a lot of them would have been there in 2018, but a lot of them wouldn't have been. So, but yeah, just getting ready for throw-in now. National anthem about to happen. I will get a score graphic up on the screen once the game starts, so people know the score and all the rest. But yeah, just a minute away here from throw-in. Kilkenny need a good start. To be fair, I don't think they can, afford to fall behind, because Limerick don't always start the best, to be fair to them. They conceded an early goal against Cork in both the final last year and in the round robin. They started a little bit slow against Clare. Took them a while to get going against Galway as well. So, although they did actually start the game against Galway the better, to be fair, they actually did start the better. I think they were 5 points to 1 up quite early on. But yeah, what time does it start at? Starts in probably about 30 seconds, I'd say. Starts at 3:30, so we're 3:29 now. So both sides just doing the national anthem, everything else. And then they'll take positions and get ready for the throw-in. Both crowd, both sets of supporters very much on their feet. Getting ready for what's hopefully a cracking game of hurling. John Coyley with the cameras on him there at the minute. What a story it'll be for him if he can win his 4th All-Ireland for his county. You think Limerick hadn't won an All-Ireland for 45 years. He was the one who broke that duck, and now, potentially could add 3 more. So, absolutely crazy in many ways. But yeah, national anthem being sung out now. There was just a couple of minutes of silences there and stuff like that for a few different people. Definitely, from looking at the pictures in this on TV anyway, it looks like probably 60-70% Limerick fans anyway, as expected, because Limerick, in fairness to them, they do bring large chunks of supporters to Croke Park. I remember 28, the 2018 final. I mean, there was so many Limerick fans up in Dublin that weekend. A lot of Dublin fans up there. Brian Cody watching on without the traditional cap that he normally has on, which is interesting. Normally wears a hat, but he's letting his head out for a bit of sun, I think. Noel says it's a hot day to be running around for 70 minutes plus. Yeah, like, be surprised if there's no water breaks. But we're up and running anyway. The game is up and running. But yeah, surprised there's no water breaks, because usually, you know, with weather like this, you think there would be. It'd be interesting to see if they do call a water break at some point. They probably didn't want to say there'd be a water break before the game, because, you know, Paul Kinnerk and John Coyle probably bring in their tactics board. But Kilkenny going for the opening score of the game, but they put it wide. An effort there from TJ Reid venturing forward, but puts it wide there. So Kilkenny with the opening chance of the game. That would have been a good opportunity. It was actually Pádraig Walsh, I should say. A good opportunity there for Kilkenny maybe to get the opening score. Limerick winning the ruck though. Now in possession with Dara O'Donovan. Breaks down. It's all a bit messy in there at the minute. Both sides trying to get their hands on the ball, but Limerick do come away with it, but then lose possession. Kilkenny have it back again. Kilkenny trying to swarm the Limerick midfielders. You've obviously got Colm Lyons as the referee for this one, which is interesting because he was the referee for Limerick and Clare in the round robin game, which obviously sparked a bit of controversy with the Groat Hegarty sending off. You know, a lot of people I've spoken to in the build-up to this game have been worried that this could be a bit of a free, you know, taken contest. He is quite whistle happy, and he's called an early free here, so this will be a chance for Jeremy Burns to put Limerick in front, and he does, puts it over the bar. Lovely score there from Jeremy Burns. Limerick with the first point of the All-Ireland final. Hopefully it isn't too much of a free taken contest. You know, hopefully Colm Lyons lets this flow, but certainly early on there anyway. He did call the free. Kilkenny going long, but Limerick win the ball. Working it up the field quite quickly into Aaron Gallan, but couldn't quite, or into Shamie Flanagan, I should say, couldn't quite get his hands on the ball, couldn't scoop it up there. So, but I think the referee might have called it for a sideline ball for Limerick. So maybe a chance here for Limerick to get their second score of the game, although I'm not too sure if they'll go for it. Did look like it came off Flanagan, to be fair, but the referee's giving it Limerick's way. Limerick working a short. Lovely bit of possession there. Effort on goal from Graham Mulcahy, but flies wide of the pitch. So Limerick got a chance there maybe to get their first point of the game from play, but flies wide, stays as a 1-point game. Both sides with a wide each. Kilkenny going, they've gone very direct so far from their puck outs. They've gone literally direct into their half forward line, but this is the second ball now Limerick have won in a row. With first it was Jeremy Burns, this time Declan Hannon in possession, gets fouled, so Limerick able to I suppose work it up the other end again. But interesting, that's twice now Kilkenny have gone very direct from their puck outs straight into, you know, their half forward line of Pádraig Walsh, TJ Reid, Billy Ryan, but they haven't had any success from it in the opening two attempts. Bit of a risky strategy in some ways because, you know, if they keep giving away possession, they allow Limerick to get the ball. But Limerick now going down the other end, and here goes Groat Hegarty. Chance maybe for a goal, and he absolutely buries it. What a finish from Groat Hegarty. Makes no mistake. Limerick 4 points to the good after just 3 minutes in the game. Long ball up. Hegarty here takes it away from his man and just absolutely buries it. To be fair, I didn't know if the goal was on there, to be honest. I thought maybe he should go for the point, but he absolutely blasts it into the top corner of the net. A wonderful finish from Hegarty, and Limerick are 4 points to the good after just 35 minutes. They've won possession again. Kilkenny have not started well at all here. And if they're not careful, this could get away from them quite quickly. But they are in possession. But they've lost it again. That's poor. And Limerick are in all sorts of space here. They might be in again. But this time, it is Hugh Lawler who comes out with the ball. Kilkenny are slipping in possession and losing it all over the place. And they can't deal with Limerick's intensity. But they have won a free there. So I don't know. I think it might be too far to go for it, maybe. But the intensity for Limerick, they've turned over Kilkenny on a couple of occasions. Hugh Lawler clearly dropped the ball there, losing possession. It was Hegarty who obviously gets the goal. He takes it up. He gets away from Cian Kenny. Also, Richie Reid trying to get a hook in there as well. But Hegarty's able to hit it with, from his right-hand side into the keeper, or beyond the keeper. Wonderful finish. Kilkenny there with the effort from distance from Owen Murphy, flies wide. Second wide of the game now for Kilkenny. They haven't started well. Limerick have started brilliantly. And they just look that bit sharper. And they've gone direct into Galan, who's caught it, and he might be in again. He's kicked it with his foot and put it over the bar. He lost his hurl, but absolutely no problem at all for Aaron Galan. And I tell you what, Kilkenny have gotten a little bit lucky there, because if Galan had his hurl there, that would have probably been a goal. He loses his hurl. He catches it ahead of his man anyway, and then kicks it over the bar. Unbelievable stuff there from Aaron Galan. He's playing football with this litter. And Kilkenny just really are all over the place here. Limerick win the ball again. It looks like Limerick are saving their best performance of the season for now. But just as they were about to come away with the ball, the ref has called something, I think, for a throw ball there, actually, from Mike Casey. Probably a little bit harsh. It's weird with these throw balls sometimes, because, sometimes they give them, sometimes they don't. But this is very, very routine for TJ Reid, right in front of the goal. You would expect them to put this over the bar, surely. Probably jinxed them there by putting the scoreboard up already, but I mean, he's not going to miss, surely, and he doesn't. 3. Back to a 4-point game. I mean, Limerick have started like an absolute house on fire, but that point will settle Limerick a little bit. Callum says, who are you up for? Nobody really, to be honest. Like, I've no affiliation really with either county. I just want a good game of hurling, an entertaining game. I would rather Limerick win, to be honest. But Kilkenny might be able to get their second point there, and they do. That's a lovely score from Owen Cody. Kilkenny responding after a very slow start. It was a brilliant catch from Owen Cody ahead of Sean Finn, I think, and he makes no mistake. That's a wonderful score from Owen Cody. So good response there from Kilkenny. So we bring it back to a 3-point game, but here come Limerick again. They're just that bit quicker to the ball, and their intensity's there. That's brilliant from Aaron Galan. This is probably going to be a point for Limerick. Could also be an opportunity for a goal. They're just playing wonderful hurling here. And it looked like a half a chance there for Kyle Hayes, who got himself into a brilliant position, but Kilkenny survived this time around. Limerick are cutting through Kilkenny with ease at the minute there. So, Limerick are looking very, very good. And to be fair to Kilkenny, they'll be happy with those 2 scores just to, bring themselves back within 3 points. 3-point lead in hurling is a dangerous lead. But look, Limerick have definitely started very, very well, and probably reminiscent of the final we seen them in last year. But look, a long, long way to go yet. Just 8 minutes on the clock there at the minute. They work the ball up, and they're just playing very, very good hurling. Shamey Flanagan going direct into Aaron Galan. Just can't really, or into Flanagan, I should say, can't really get possession. That's surely a foul there. Well, Limerick play on anyway. I think the ref is going to call it back for a foul. Limerick just look really, really up for it here at the minute. I mean, they're throwing themselves into challenges. They're winning the breaking balls, winning the dirty balls. I mean, Shamey Flanagan got absolutely body checked there and still was able to get possession off into Aaron Galan. I don't know why the referee called it back. I mean, he should have just allowed the point, but I mean, Flanagan getting absolutely body checked, but still able to get away possession. You know, everything Kilkenny are throwing at Limerick here. Limerick have an answer. And this, you would imagine, should go over the bar from Aaron Gallan, left-hand side of the pitch, about 30 metres out maybe there. Maybe a little bit more. And he does. He puts it over. Very good score there from Aaron Gallan. Limerick back to 4 points in front. And Kilkenny definitely need to find the response there at the minute. Jeremy Burns now venturing forward. He goes for the effort. It's dropping short and nearly winded up as another goal there. Kilkenny now when fell. William O'Donoghue this time with the foul, but to be fair, it was a long ball that was floated in by Jeremy Burns. Good catch from Owen Murphy. I mean, Limerick nearly in there for a second goal. And you feel like if they were to go 7 points up this early on, you know, you'd be a little bit worried for them. You'd be a little bit worried for Kilkenny, to be honest. But here's a chance for TJ Reid right in front of the goal. Should surely put this one over. Makes no mistake. Back to a 3-point game. Cody will get a nice 22-inch humble pie at the end of this today. Possibly, yeah. And Limerick have just gotten another score there. And this time it's Kyle Hayes who's got on the score sheet there. Loses his helmet. Doesn't make a difference. Puts it over the bar anyway. Limerick are just playing really, really total hurling here at the minute. And it's very hard for Kilkenny to live. Kyle Hayes there. I mean, he lost possession originally, but regathered it, put it over the bar. Not a problem whatsoever from Kyle Hayes. And Limerick 4 points to the good, and they have the ball again. You look away for a minute, and Limerick are just absolutely flying here. And this time around, it's is it Jeremy Burns again, I think, with the score. A wonderful score from him, his second point of the game. They're just first everything. I mean, you look away for a minute and Limerick just keep on turning Kilkenny over. They're hounding them every time they have the ball. They're not allowing Kilkenny to do anything whatsoever. And 5-point game. I think that's the biggest lead we've had in the game. Here's TJ Reid. Chance here for Kilkenny from distance. It's a long, long way out the field, to be fair. But he makes no mistake. That's a really fine score. This time around from Paddy Deegan, I think it was there. Really, really good points from him. So Kilkenny, I mean, that was probably just below the 65-metre line. So that was a really good score from Deegan. It was a risky, low percentage shot, you could say, but he put it over. Hegarty in there. This one looks like it's going to go over as well, is it? Wide this time around from Graham Mulcahy. Kilkenny working the puck out quickly. Need an answer. They're going direct. They haven't been able to win those breaking balls so far, but they do win this one. And that should go over the bar, and it does. It's a lovely score from Kilkenny. Mossy Keown this time around, putting the ball over the bar. So good response for Kilkenny, to be fair. I mean, they're not panicking too much. You know, if they go 4 or 5 points behind, we've seen what happened with Cork last year where the wheels really fell off quite quickly and Limerick just absolutely punished them time and time again. Kilkenny, to be fair to them, have been able to find a response. And here goes Shamey Flanagan this time running through, or Tom Morrissey, I should say, and he makes no mistake. Tell you what, these lads are keeping me busy here with the scoreboard because there's literally been a score, I'd say, every 2 seconds. Every 20 seconds there's been a score. And Limerick 1-6-5 in front now. Kilkenny going long again from the puck out. They have been going very direct into the half forward line. They've definitely targeted the likes of Declan Hannon and Dan Morrissey in particular. They've really targeted that side, but they haven't come out on top. Like Limerick have won the ball time and time again, you know, ahead of the likes of Pádraig Walsh and TJ Reid in the half forward line. Cody will have to do something, or Kilkenny get a goal. Yeah, look, it's a long way to go. Yeah, I mean, it's only 4 points, so you know you don't start panicking for goals just yet. But certainly they can't keep hitting that direct ball into that half forward line because it's only worked once so far from my recollection. And Limerick now have a response again, and this time it's Hegarty 1-1 now from play for him. Mr. Clutch himself. I mean, how many times has he produced big performances in All-Ireland finals? And once again, he's producing a big performance. 1-7 to 5 points. Kilkenny have possession now, racing forward. Bit of a heavy challenge there, maybe from one of the Limerick defenders, from Mike Casey. So Kilkenny are going to have an opportunity here from about 30 metres to bring it back to a 4-point game. Conor Brown, I think, was the one foul there from Mike Casey. So chance here for Kilkenny. We've 97 people watching, so if you could hit the like button and subscribe, would be much appreciated. Do plenty of watch-alongs and match reactions, podcasts, all the rest, similar to this one. So if you'd like a bit more GAA content in your life, if you could subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. And obviously it is commentary, watch along. I am showing the game for some people who've asked there. A few people getting quite annoyed in the comments. I mean, it does say watch along in the in the stream, you know, or in the title. So, you know, but it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, if you could smash the like button and subscribe, would be much appreciated. Kilkenny, they did put that one over the bar, and they've responded with another point again. So back to a 3-point game. Kilkenny, you know, every time it looks like maybe Limerick are going to get too far away from Kilkenny, Kilkenny do seem to find a bit of response. And Richie Reid that time around with a really lovely score. And Kilkenny win possession again. This time around, Paddy Deegan. TJ Reid now in possession. But I don't really think he done anything with the ball there. Cian Kenny actually in possession. Conor Brown has actually been substituted as well for that earlier challenge. So Conor Fogarty has come on now for Kilkenny. Paddy Deegan, it's a long way out. It'll be a brilliant score if he gets it. He's gone direct into the full forward line, but doesn't come to anything. Drop short into Nicky Quaid. He plays it into Hegarty. He's been absolutely everywhere so far. Is he going for the score? He is, and he's got it again. I mean, Hegarty is having an absolute stormer in this game. That's 1-2 now from play. Limerick 4 points to the good again. Every time Kilkenny respond, every time Kilkenny have an answer, Limerick then go up the field and have an answer. And I have to say, this has been a cracking final so far. I mean, 1-8 to 7 points. Really, really entertaining stuff. Kilkenny lose possession. Sean Finn coming out with the ball, but it breaks down and Kilkenny now have it. Could they work maybe a bit of a goal chance maybe here? But TJ Reid's probably going to go for the point. And he does put it over the bar. No mistake there from Kilkenny. Very well worked score. Mikey Carey actually this time around. So all of Kilkenny's halfback line have got on the score sheet. Back to a 3-point game. Limerick's turn this time around to go direct. Do they win the ball? They do. And a bit of space here. Over the bar from Aaron Gallan. Lovely, lovely score there. Limerick this time around going direct. I'm finding the response with Aaron Gallan. Jesus, there's been some amount of scores in this game. Noel says Kilkenny need Henry or DJ Carey. I mean, they've plenty of talent out on the pitch, but Limerick are just that bit sharper and they're on possession again. They look really, really up for this. And that's another one there from Shamey Flanagan this time around. I mean, this game is following a trend of Limerick hitting 2 without reply to make it a 5-point game. Kilkenny responding then with 2 points to make it a 3-point game. Back to a 5-point game again. This time, Shamey Flanagan with the score. And Kilkenny now on possession. Are they going to respond? We haven't even had too many wides in this game. And another brilliant score from Kilkenny this time around. It is Adrian Mullen who's got on the score sheet. So a lovely score over his shoulder. I mean, the exhibition of hurling we've seen here has been absolutely fantastic. 110 to 9 points after 20 minutes. Kilkenny have the ball again. They're working into their midfield, trying to target that area of the pitch again, but Limerick just keep finding an answer. Barry Nash working out with the ball. Goes direct, but nothing really doing. Just looking at some of the scores here so far. I mean, 5 of Limerick's forwards have scored and 4 of Kilkenny's forwards have scored. So, everyone's getting a piece of the pie here at the moment. Long ball there from Kilkenny's full back line. Doesn't really work into anything. Caught very well by... Couldn't quite see who it was there. It looked like Sean Finn. From Mike Casey. Heavy enough challenge coming in there. From Billy Ryan. But I'd imagine not really too much in it there. I'd say a yellow at most, but probably just going to be a free out, I'd say. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game so far. I mean, Limerick, 4 points to the good. Hegarty obviously with that goal from an acute enough angle as well, like outside the D, way outside the box there. Blasted brilliantly into the back of the net. Wonderful score. And Limerick at the moment, 4 to the good, and they will have possession here. Just a bit of a stoppage down there as Mike Casey took a hard enough hit, to be fair. I mean, that was a heavy enough challenge on him. So, but it does look like he'll be good to continue anyway. We can all take a bit of a breather, because I tell you what, there's been so much going on in this game. It's just been end to end. And Jeremy Burns, I think, is going to go for that. And he has, and he's made absolutely no mistake. Wonderful score from Jeremy Burns. I mean, it's crazy, really. He must have been, 80 meters way up the field there, like nearly close to his own goal. Blasted over the bar. Brilliant connection with the ball. And Limerick back to 5 points in front. To be fair to Kilkenny, every time Limerick have got this 5-point lead, they have found the response. They've prevented that lead from getting anything bigger than 5 points, but Limerick have just been excellent, and heavy challenges flying in left, right and centre. They are in possession, Kilkenny, but it looks like they've lost it. And Kilkenny now have the ball. Limerick have the ball, but they've lost it. They go direct again into that full forward line. Have they got a bit of joy? There might be a chance maybe here for a goal, but Limerick look like they have it well covered. And in the end, it was Mossy Keown who had possession, but in the end, he runs it out over the end line really there. And Kilkenny had a half a goal chance maybe there, like the first time they really got in behind Limerick's full back line. But even at that, there wasn't much of a chance, to be fair. Spider-Man says, I want Kilkenny to win. Doesn't look like it at the minute, my man. Limerick 5 to the good. So, yeah, and there's another effort from difficult angle from Hegarty, to be fair. I mean, that would have been an unbelievable score if he put that over, but it does go wide. I think so far Limerick have had two wides, I think, in the game. Kilkenny have had 2 as well. Oh, here we go. Hawkeye's in action. Let's see what's going to happen here. Is Hawkeye going to bottle it again? Let's see. I mean, it would be some score if Hegarty got this one over. And he has. I mean, that is a mile in there. Surely that's given. I was just going to say there, if that gets given as a wide, it'd be absolute madness. It'd be interesting to actually see the replay now because according to Hawkeye there, it was a good bit over the bar. So Hegarty, again, looking absolutely brilliant. Matthew Ryan says Hon Ryan. Dara says Limerick on top. They are. I mean, Limerick are looking, they look really, really up for this so far. And I think the general consensus this year has maybe been that Limerick haven't been at their brilliant best so far this year. They've looked very, very good today. I mean, Grode Hegarty's hit 1-3 from play so far. I mean, he's been unbelievable. Kilkenny do have possession. They need the next score because if they don't, if it gets more than 6 points, it gets a bit worrying. Foul there from Graham Mulcahy. Kilkenny will have an opportunity here to bring it back. Heavy challenges flying in. Left, right, and centre, but nothing really, it is a foul on Mikey Butler there, but I don't think there can be too much arguments. Here will be the opportunity and a chance for TJ Reid to hit his 4th point of the game, all of which have been from place ball so far. It's a big, big score now for TJ Reid. He needs to score. This one's from difficult as well. It's just near the sideline, just above the 45-metre line. Has he put it over the bar? It looks over. It's a great score from TJ Reid. Brilliant, brilliant score. And Kilkenny needed that because, if this goes beyond 6 and starts getting 7, 8, 9, you worry for the Cats. You really do. It's a wonderful puck out. Unbelievable there into Kyle Hayes. And this time it's him running forward. Brilliant bit of defending there from Kilkenny, though, I think. Or has the ref called it back for a foul? I think he has, maybe. Mikey Carey with the over the shoulder hook. We'll see now if it was a clean tackle. Yeah, he got nowhere near the ball there, to be fair. So this will be a very routine score, you would say, from Aaron Gallan to make it a 6-point game again. Gallan standing over it. And 0 mistake there from Limerick, who go 6 to the good. So Kilkenny, who've been trailing for the majority of the game, find themselves 6 down, and a long way to go, but you just get the feeling they need to try something different here at the minute because, they keep going direct into Limerick's half-back line, especially where Dan Morrissey's playing. They keep going direct into there, and it just isn't working, but they do have the ball here, and that should be a score, you'd imagine. And it is another wonderful score from Kilkenny, this time around. Paddy Deegan, who's having a very good game, it must be said. That's his 2nd point of the game. He's having a very, very good game indeed. Dara says, thing with Limerick is they know how to turn up on big stages, almost unplayable at times. They do. Limerick now going down the other end, wide there from Grode Hegarty. No doubt about this one. Back to a 5-point game. I think for Kilkenny, as long as they stick with Limerick and it doesn't get anything beyond 6-7, at least going down the final sort of 5-10 minutes, that will give them a bit of confidence that maybe they're still in it. because, I mean, Limerick won the All-Ireland final against Waterford by 11 points, let's not forget. So, and they won the one last year by, 15 plus or something like that. So they've won All-Ireland finals very comfortably in the last 2 years, and they have been very comfortable here so far. And another opportunity there for a score. And it is a wonderful score, this time from Declan Hannon. They're all getting on the score sheet here for Limerick at the minute. Brilliant score from Declan Hannon. I mean, just looking at Limerick in general, I mean, you kind of can't really look away. But Kilkenny now, there is a bit of space for a score here. They work it in. TJ Reid trying to be direct and go for the goal, but nothing comes of it. Loses possession in the end. I don't know if the ref has called it back for a foul. He might have. TJ Reid running through there. First time really that Kilkenny have sort of tried to run at Limerick, and TJ Reid, as you can see there, fouled. So this will be a chance for Kilkenny to bring it back to 5 points. TJ Reid, but just looking at Limerick scores in general, I mean, they've had 8 different scores so far, 7 different scores, all very much getting in on the action. Flanagan, Gallan, Morrissey, Hayes, Hegarty, Hannon, Burns, I mean, all doing very, very well. And TJ Reid there, 0 mistake from that one. I mean, right in front of the goal, you'd expect him to put it over, and he does. So back to a 5-point game. Sherp says Limerick will score 30 points at least today. They just might, I mean, they scored 319 in the first half last year, and they have added another score now. So they've won 15 now, and we said they'd 7 different scores. Well, you can now make that 8 different scores because William O'Donoghue's now got in the act. Or Kyle Hayes, actually, I think it was. So Limerick 6 to the good. And you just really cannot take your eyes off this game at all because there's just so much going on. And Kilkenny now going down the other end. I mean, this is just end to end. And Pádraig Walsh now getting on the score sheet. Cracking stuff, I have to say. And look, although Limerick are 5 points to the good, you do have to commend Kilkenny because, they've kept their resolve and, they haven't hit too many wides. They've stood up to Limerick a lot of the time, and they haven't. Their heads haven't dropped as such, and now they might be able to work a chance here. Mossy Keown, he's got 2 men on him. Is the ref going to call it back for a foul? He is. To be fair, I'm surprised he didn't play on there because I think Kilkenny had a half chance to work a goal. Mossy Keown being fouled by Jeremy Burns, and he did get away from him. Looked like half a chance for a goal there, to be fair. So chance here for TJ Reid. Would fully expect him to put this one over, and he does. But 4 points. Limerick had a 5 to 6 point lead for quite a large period of that game. It's now down to 4. So, Kilkenny are trying their best to stick with Limerick here, to be fair. The puck outs from Nicky Quaid has been exceptional, though. I mean, they just keep picking someone out. And Hegarty again this time around. I think he's put that one wide, though. Limerick have got 2 wides in a row now, so it does allow, and if Kilkenny can work a score from this possession, they've gone direct again. Bounces all the way through. Was nearly a half chance there for Kilkenny. They're just not quite getting the joy from the from that puck out. Say they've lost possession maybe 6 or 7 times from going direct into the half-back line. Here now is Shamey Flanagan. Peels away over the shoulder. He's put a wide as well. So that's 3 wides in a row now for Limerick. Just the scoring spree has just started to slow down. Kilkenny now have a bit of possession here with TJ Reid. He should put it over, but he puts it wide. It would have been a big score for Kilkenny there from TJ Reid. It was a difficult one, close to the sideline, more of a slicer than anything else. Just cuts across the goal. Would have been a brilliant score if I had it gone over, but in terms of momentum, it would have been big. Stays as 4 points. Limerick in possession again now with Aaron Gallan. Limerick have possession, nearly lose it with William O'Donoghue. And here's a chance. And over the bar, and a lovely score this time from Dan Morrissey, who puts it over, and Limerick back to a 6-point lead. And this time Dan Morrissey gets on the score sheet, so his first point of the game. 8 different scores in total for Limerick. And Kilkenny now have got a score. I mean, you look away for a minute and there's just another score. This time, Pádraig Walsh. Have to say, like, you have to commend both sides here. They've given us an absolute cracker of hurling. You don't want half time to come, to be honest, because so much has happened. It's literally been a straight shootout. 116-15 now. And are Limerick going to respond with a score? I think they have. And they sure have. Lovely score this time around from Graham Mulcahy, I think it was. Shamey Flanagan, actually. I mean, there's so many scores here at the minute. I'm nearly getting dizzy, but it's 117-15 points. I mean, I wonder if we've ever had more scores than this in the first half of an All-Ireland final, because, I mean, this has been absolutely electrifying. Kilkenny will have a chance here from the sideline. I don't know if they'll go for the sideline cut or whether they'll try work it in. They're going to try work it in. There's about 10 seconds left of injury time. And the ref, I think, has called a foul on... Oh, he's called half-time, actually. I thought he called a foul there, but he hasn't. So half-time, or is it half-time? It isn't half-time. It looked like half-time there because it looked like all the players were leaving, but it is going to be a free in here for TJ Reid. A foul there on Billy Ryan. The only Kilkenny forward not to score so far. But TJ Reid to bring it back to a 4-point game. And, you know, I don't think Kilkenny will be too disappointed if it's 4 points at halftime because, you know, Limerick could arguably be further in front. And I don't think neither side have played badly. TJ Reid makes no mistake. He puts it over. Back to a 4-score game. 4-point game. And yeah, halftime. Limerick 117. Kilkenny 16 points. I mean, what a half we've had. I mean, 34 scores in total. I don't know if we've ever had that many scores in the first half of an All-Ireland final ever. I mean, that is just absolutely exceptional. An unbelievable game of hurling. Both sides playing excellent, excellent stuff. You know, Kilkenny might be 4 points down, but I don't even think you can level them any criticism, to be honest, because I think they've played well. Like they haven't hit that many wides. They haven't panicked at all. Even when Limerick have gotten an ascendancy in the game and gone 5-6 points in front, Kilkenny have kept responding. And, you know, they have gone very direct into Limerick's half-back line. They've been targeting the area where sort of Dan Morrissey, Barry Nash are playing. And they've tried to hit it into, you know, that half-forward line. And it hasn't really worked a lot of the time. Limerick have been able to come away with possession, whether it be Dan Morrissey, Declan Hannon, and even Jeremy Burns, who's got possession at times as well. So, you know, they might need to mix that up a bit and start playing a bit more of a short game because they are giving possession back to Limerick a bit too easily. But at the same time, 16 points in that first half, not that many wides at all. I think Kilkenny will be happy with that first half display, but Limerick have been excellent. I mean, just as well, Limerick brought their A game because they'd probably be behind if they weren't. I mean, that Hegarty goal, you know, absolutely exceptional. And unbelievable goal from Gearóid Hegarty. Really, really well taken finish. I mean, we'll run through the scores in just a moment. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the first half. I mean, Limerick have been very, very good. Plenty of comments flying in there, so much appreciated. Fast goal for Limerick, second half might sink a few Kilkenny heads. Yeah, definitely an early goal for Limerick would definitely take the stuffing out of Kilkenny, you'd have to say. But, they will take inspiration, though, because I think Limerick have given, a very, very good first half performance. I mean, a few sloppy wides towards the end of the half there, but all in all, very, very good performance. Sherp says Kilkenny will have to find at least 20 points in the second half. In the heat and all, I don't see it happening. I do think both sides will slow down in the second half. I cannot imagine we'll see the same pace that we've seen in the first half. I think we will see a big drop off in terms of scores in the second half. You will see both sides tire, especially with those conditions. I mean, what I would say is there is a good bit of a breeze, to be fair. So at least that does help. It's not dead heat or anything like that. Noel says, will Cody make any changes? I'm not too sure if he will, maybe. I think tactically I need to be the big changes. Like, I think he needs to stop going. They need to stop going so direct into Limerick's halfback line. It just isn't working at all. They're surrendering possession far too easily. So that would be the big change I think I would make from a Kilkenny perspective. I mean, Conor Fogarty already came on for the injured. Conor Brown. I think Brown might have come back on, actually, to be fair. Possibly. I don't think he did, actually, but hard to know. Like, they do have options on the bench to come on. I mean, you've got John Donnelly who could maybe come on and make a difference. Richie Hogan, David Blanchfield's there. James Mars looks very good. Alan Murphy as well. So Kilkenny do have options there to potentially make a difference. But, as I said, 16 points in the first half. Very, very good performance from Kilkenny, in my opinion. I don't think they've been poor. Like, they started quite slow, conceding that 1-2, and that definitely knocked the stuffing out of them. But the response since then has been fairly decent. They've matched Limerick very much, score for score after that. So yeah. The spuds are on in Limerick tonight. I'm sure there'll be plenty of spuds that will be made and points that will be drank in Limerick tonight. The way things are standing, be 3 in a row, which is kind of incredible, really. Just run through some scores in total then. So looking at Limerick, Shamie Flanagan with 2 points, Galan with 4, Tom Morrissey with a point, Cole Hayes with 2, Gearóid Hegarty with 1-3. Dan Morrissey and Declan Hannon have both scored a point each, and Jeremy Burns has 3 points. Owen Cody's got on the score sheet, Mossy Keown, Adrian Mullinall with a point, Porrick Walsh with 2 points, TJ Reid with 7 points, Paddy Deegan with 2 points, Richie Reid and Mikey Carey on the score sheet as well. And with that, I'm off to get another beer. But yeah, Gearóid, they're just highlighting Gearóid Hegarty. Hego says Prego is what their caption is there on RTE. I mean, that's a weird caption. Bit weird, bro. But yeah, Hegarty's been exceptional so far. 1-3 in total, all of which from play. I mean, he's had an absolute stormer of a performance. I mean, you think about it, he was he man of the match against Waterford 2 years ago. He was exceptional in the final last year. You know, he's had an unbelievable performance again. He's been absolutely everywhere. Sherp says Kilkenny will bring on Big Wally, as in Walter Walsh. Yeah, I think they might need to bring him on at some stage, maybe to sort of make a bit of a difference. Kike says, to be fair, Darrow was a fast goal first half for Limerick, and many a team would crumble, but Kilkenny hung on in there and are still in this. Yeah, it was a very fast first goal. Make no mistake about that. And Dubs were behind last week, and we've seen how that went, says Niall. Yeah, they were, but it is a different game, you know. And to be fair, Kilkenny haven't been bad, though. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they have been bad. They started slow, and they've maybe had a few, you know, like in the first sort of opening quarter, they struggled to get to grips with Limerick's intensity. They were losing possession. Limerick were winning the breaking balls. They were winning the dirty balls. They were winning the half balls. They're winning everything, really. But in fairness to Kilkenny, they've stuck with Limerick, and you know, they haven't hit too many wides. You know, and they've lived with Limerick, and they've hung on. And I think that's the most important thing with this Limerick side, is hanging in there, really, because you can't afford to go 7, 8, 9 down, because then it's game over. You know, you're just not going to catch them. You know, Kilkenny haven't had a goal chance in this game. Limerick's full back line has been exceptional. So yeah, they're just highlighting the Kilkenny puck out there on RTE as well. Like, as we were saying, that, you know, Kilkenny puck out has been interesting. They've been turned over numerous times, it must be said. Andrew says hurling is a boring sport. Too easy to get scores. Football, a far better sport. I would agree that football is a better sport. I definitely am more of a football man than a hurling man. But I definitely wouldn't say it's too easy to get scores. I think, you know, you have to factor this is the All-Ireland final. It's the two best teams in the country. Conditions are pretty much perfect for a game of hurling. You know, and that's just how the game has gone. But you know, you would wonder if goalkeepers start scoring from their own puck outs, that's when things start to get a bit worrying. But you know. But yeah, second half will be starting in a couple of moments' time. If you could smash the like button, it'd be much appreciated. Limerick 4 points to the good. Big second half coming from a Kilkenny perspective. They need to start the second half fast and keep with this Limerick side, because you know, if they start slow like they did in the first half and concede 1-5 or whatever, you know, 1-5 without reply like they did at the start, that would be an issue. 5 wides in the first half from Kilkenny, 6 wides from a Limerick point of view. Just looking at Mr. GAA Statsman there, friend of the channel, who will be coming on the podcast tomorrow. He was putting out a few interesting stats in regards to the first half, so we will get that up on the screen in just a moment. But 3 points. 3 points have come out of 4 Limerick turnovers inside the Kilkenny 65. So Limerick have done a real bit of damage, it must be said, on those turnovers. And they really had, like, you know, Kilkenny have just been far too loose with those puck outs. Just looking at it there, we'll just remove this so you can see there. Turnovers, Limerick in green, Kilkenny in red. 3 points have come out of 4 Limerick turnovers inside Kilkenny 65. Kilkenny have 3 out of 3 inside Limerick 65. So certainly the Limerick lads doing plenty of damage on those turnovers there in the first half. Mike Doyle, I should say. Freeze keeping Kilkenny in it. Freeze on both sides, to be fair, but Kilkenny have had a couple of frees, and I suppose that is maybe keeping them within touching distance. Noel says, I I would like to be a fly in the Kilkenny dressing room. Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? Be very curious to see what I was going to say Owen Cody, what Brian Cody would be saying there. I can guarantee Kilkenny will be out last. Limerick will come out first for the second half, and then Kilkenny will come out. And Kilkenny will leave Limerick out there for a couple of minutes as well, I'd say. Classic Brian Cody. I'm getting quite thirsty, I'm not going to lie. Hope Limerick run away with it now. I hope it's still close. Like, you want a bit of drama. I'd love a late-minute goal or something like that, just to, a bit of excitement. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the first half. I think Hegarty, man of the match so far. I mean, he's been unbelievable. 1-3. He's been exceptional. I think Hawkeye has had a very good game. Gerard Burns has been very good. Declan Hannon's been very good. A lot of contenders from a Kilkenny perspective. Paddy Deegan's been very good, I felt. From Kilkenny, he's had a very good game. TJ Reid's obviously been heavily involved as well. 7 points, all of which from placed balls. Pádraig Walsh with 2. He's been impressive as well. The Limerick fullback line, I think, has had a very good game. Barry Nash, Mike Casey, Sean Finn, all done very well. Just that drowning out Kilkenny, who haven't had a single goal chance in the game at all. So Kilkenny need a goal, like always, scored in the second half. Yeah, but see, the difference is that I don't think Limerick were really at the races at all against Galway. They didn't. Galway played very, very well, but I thought Limerick were a little bit slow. They weren't as good in that game as they have been in this game. Put it that way. So, but in saying so, you would expect Kilkenny to come out fast in the second half. They need to do it. Pabalino says, "Can Limerick do it?" I think they can, Pabalino. I think they can. They're 4 points to the good. So, Pabalino, I think Limerick are looking very, very good at the minute. The prediction before the start of the game that I made was that Limerick would keep Kilkenny at arm's length. Kilkenny would play well and put it up to Limerick, but Limerick would always just be that bit in front. And so far, it has proved that way. Be interesting to see if my predictions come through, but I can't see Kilkenny getting more than 5 points in the second half, to be fair. But yeah, second half will be about a couple of minutes away. Just looking at Aaron Gallan's point that he scored with his foot as well. That was an unbelievable score. He lost his hurl, and Gallan, quite the footballer as well. So Kilkenny or Limerick have looked very good even in regards to that as well. They have been getting scores from all over the field in that first half. And I think that's been crucial for Limerick. All their half-back line has scored, 8 different scores in total. They're just dominating that area of the pitch. And, Kilkenny have stood off Limerick's half-back line at times, which has allowed the likes of Dan Morrissey and Declan Hannon to sort of break forward with the ball and have a bit of space to shoot and score. So, but yeah, Kilkenny are out on the field anyway. Perhaps it's Limerick who are going to leave Kilkenny waiting out on the pitch. Brian Cody watching on. He'll be watching on nervously for the second half. Can his Kilkenny boys turn it around? I think this would be a third All-Ireland final defeat since their 2015 success for Brian Cody, 2016, 2019. So, an unusual one for Brian Cody. He's not used to losing too many finals. Kilkenny hit long-range points. Any changes? Don't think there's been any changes so far there, but we will see as the game goes on. Second half is up and running. Kilkenny in possession early on. They lose the ball. They might maybe have a chance here, but Limerick do have it and work away with it again. They're just brilliant, Limerick, at, catching the breaking ball and then just finding a man, picking out a man with a quick little bit of stick work. But the ball does break down and Kilkenny have it now. Limerick are just there every step of the way, though. They're not allowing Kilkenny to get a shot away. They do work it in to Pádraig Walsh. He plays it back, Billy Ryan. Limerick have it again now with Owen Cody, or Kilkenny have it now with Owen Cody. That looks over the bar. It's wide. It's a sixth wide of the game for Kilkenny. They probably needed that at the start of the second half to bring it down to a 3-point game, but it stays as 4. Brian Cody with a bit of this. He wants his lads to get proper stuck in now. Hegarty again, excellent from the puck out. Cole Hayes, he's a bit of space. And he puts it over the bar. Wonderful score from Cole Hayes. No Lynch, no problem. Limerick 5 to the good. You'd nearly even forget about Cian Lynch watching this Limerick side because they don't even need him, and he's probably their best player. It's incredible. But Limerick 5 points to the good. Cole Hayes the first point of the second half. Mike Casey wins the breaking ball. Again, Kilkenny are going direct with that puck out. Nothing really comes from it. Limerick now have possession. Work the ball way up the field. This might be a chance for Galan if he can gather it, but he doesn't. I think it ended up going wide in the end, did it? What goal is Kilkenny playing into? So they're playing into the goal opposite Hill 16. So Cusick stand. Upper Cusick. Limerick playing into the end of Hill 16. And Aaron Galan now with a bit of space. He could go for the goal. Goes for the point. He had a chance there. He was 1v1. He was 1v1 with his marker. He could have took him on. He was 1v1 with Hugh Lawler, I think. Probably right idea, though, probably to go for the point. Kilkenny now going down the other end. Oh, there might be a chance here for a goal. There is a chance. Is it in the back of the net? It is. It's a goal for Kilkenny. It's a wonderful finish from Billy Ryan. And Kilkenny, we said, needed a goal. And they've got themselves a goal. And Billy Ryan, the only forward who hasn't scored for Kilkenny so far in this game, he does score. It was worked into Billy Ryan. I wasn't sure if the ball went in the net to begin with because it looked like the Limerick fans were celebrating. But the ball is in the back of the net from Billy Ryan and Kilkenny are back in it. And they win the puck out. And Limerick may be facing a bit of adversity and heavy challenges flying in left, right and centre now. And Kilkenny now in possession. But that one goes wide, and that might just sting the momentum a little bit. Probably saps the momentum. That was a chance, but it was a great bit of work from the substitute. It was a throw ball, or was a hand pass sort of across the face. I'm going to see who that substitute was. I think it might have been Conor Fogarty. It was Walter Walsh, actually, who came on. So Walter Walsh comes on at the start of the second half, makes an immediate impact, put the ball into a dangerous area. And Kilkenny's first goal chance of the game results in a goal. So someone was saying in the comments there, Big Wally Walsh would make a big difference, and he certainly has. Limerick now looking for a response, and they do get a response. It's a great score, again, from that man, Gearóid Hegarty. To be fair, the game hasn't gone below a 3-point game. It's kind of like it was a 4-point game at half time. So although that goal is huge from a Kilkenny perspective, Limerick are still very much in control here, but Kilkenny are just getting a bit more space now. And that was a chance for a score, and it is a score as well. It's a brilliant one. This time, finished brilliantly from Adrian Mullen. Kilkenny back to 3, and I thought this second half, would maybe slow down in terms of intensity, in terms of scores, but it hasn't. If anything, it's actually gotten even better. Hegarty again winning the ball. Hand pass in. Might be a chance for Limerick now for a goal. Probably should go for the point, though. I think he wins the 65, though, and he does. So chance for Graham Mulcahy there. Hegarty winning the puck out. Kilkenny a little bit open at the back. The pass from Hegarty just a little bit in front of Mulcahy, a bit too far in front of him. Mulcahy running through. He was, to be fair, there was a foul on him actually by Mikey Carey in the build-up there. So Limerick probably should have got a more handy free than the one they got, but it is out for a 65. So it'll be a chance here now for Dermot Burns. Told you, lads, this wasn't over. Yeah, it isn't over. I mean, that's the thing, like, with Kilkenny, is that as long as they can just stick with Limerick, just stick with them, you know, that will give you a big chance. And Dermot Burns there with the 65 puts it over. Big score there from Dermot Burns. Limerick needed that, and they go back 4 in front. I have to say, the entertainment on show has been insane. Sherp says Richie Hogan could be an impact sub. He could be. Maybe one last hurrah. Kilkenny are starting to win that ball now. Another chance here maybe for a goal, but that didn't really work at anything. It was an overhit pass from Pádraig Walsh. Those are the kind of opportunities Kilkenny need to take. Pádraig Walsh with the excellent catch there in front of his man, though. Ball into Hegarty again. He's definitely getting the better of Paddy Deegan. And Hegarty again. It's Hegarty. Oh, Jesus. I thought he went for goal there. Limerick nearly had a chance. Kilkenny, some excellent defending, but look at this pressure from Limerick's forwards. I mean, they're just not allowing Kilkenny to break out with the ball at all, but they do have it now. And they go long into Walter Walsh, who's certainly made an impact since coming on. And that looks over the bar as well. And it is Walter Walsh who set up the first goal, set up the goal for Kilkenny. Now gets on the score sheet himself. And Kilkenny, with that substitute, have made a big difference. And Walter Walsh jumping into the air as well. And now Limerick going down the other end with Hegarty. He's been pulled back, so surely going to be a foul. A foul from Paddy Deegan, who, to be fair, has struggled to really deal with Road Hegarty in this game. He scored 1-4 from play. Unbelievable. And this will be, you'd have to feel, a chance for Aaron Gillan. And it is the sign of a great team. I mean, Limerick, Kilkenny have got themselves a goal. They've started to get a bit of joy, but yet they haven't brought the game back to below 3 points. You know, Limerick are still very much managing that 3 to 4 point lead, and they now go 4 in front with Aaron Gillan. So 122 to 118. The Kilkenny wide straight after the goal was a big miss. It was a big miss, yeah. Kind of just saps the momentum a bit, you know. A lot of pressure here from the Kilkenny forwards, though, and Limerick are just struggling a little bit defensively now. Here's Mossy Keown over his shoulder. I'm not too sure where that ball was going. Limerick have it, though, and they gather it. With Darragh O'Donovan, plays it in. Limerick working it short. Declan Hannon. He goes long. And there's a bit of space here now for Gillan or for Shamie Flanagan. Now it's Gillan. And now it's over the bar. And that's he's put it wide. Wow. There's a big chance there for Aaron Gillan. And you wouldn't normally see him put them wide. I mean, that was about 20 metres out on the right-hand side. No real pressure on him. You'd expect him to put it over, but puts it wide. And that's huge for Kilkenny just to try and work something now. But Limerick again coming out with a. They do win the sideline ball. A few lads getting to know each other. Sherps has forced Limerick to go long. Kilkenny will score over 30 as well. They might do. This could end up something like Limerick 130, Kilkenny, or Limerick 132, Limerick, Kilkenny 130. I mean, that would be mental, wouldn't it? It's a sideline for Kilkenny, and I think they're going to go for it. Didn't really make much connection with it, though, and it was TJ Reid. Didn't really work into anyone, so Dan Morrissey can come out with it. Limerick now on the ball. Hegarty doing a bit of defensive work. Lovely ball. Limerick playing that short game that they love to play so much. And now William O'Donoghue. He goes long into Galan. Couldn't quite catch it, though, and Kilkenny now will race out with the ball. Galan holding his helmet. Game gone into a bit of a lull in the last couple of minutes. Both sides sort of turning each other over. But Kilkenny now in possession. There might be a chance here for a goal. And it does work inside. Chance, goal for Kilkenny. Wonderful finish. It's a second goal. And this time, it's Mossy Keown and Kilkenny bring it back to a 1-point game. Limerick looking a bit of trouble here. Wonderful score from Mossy Keown. Again, Kilkenny just finding the way. It was a brilliant pass originally from TJ Reid, a hand pass into Billy Ryan, I think. And then he just got a little flick onto Walter Walsh, took it away from the goalkeeper, put it in the back of the net. John Donnelly's come on now for Kilkenny. They very much have the momentum. They have the energy. They've really stood up to the occasion. And Limerick look like they're in a spot of bother here. And Kilkenny now are about to level it. And it's gone over the bar as well, and they have. And it's a wonderful score from the substitute, Walter Walsh. And Kilkenny have leveled the game. It was John Donnelly, actually. So he was only on the pitch a couple of seconds. And he puts it over the bar, and the game is level, 122 to 219. And just like that, Kilkenny are back into it now. Limerick need to win this, and they do. Hegarty's on the ball. Plays it back to Flanagan. This needs to go over the bar from a Limerick perspective. And it does. Limerick respond. They go back in front. And this really now is where we see the mettle of this Limerick side. A lot of people down the years comparing the Limerick hurlers to the Dublin footballers and everything else. Look, to be fair to Limerick, every time the going has got tough, every time it's got difficult, they've found the way. They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And Limerick, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time do get going when it gets tough. But right now it's tough, and right now they need to get going. And that's a brilliant catch from Dan Morrissey. Limerick win the free. It looked like Jeremy Burns was fouled and he's standing over it. Kilkenny bringing it to them. They are absolutely bringing it to them. They look proper up for it. Noel says getting a bit like last week. It is a bit, isn't it? With that sort of Costello goal and everything else. Aaron says, who do you think will win? I still think Limerick will find enough. But Kilkenny are not going away. And this actually. This is the toughest test now that Limerick have had in this sort of, 3-year spell. If they win the 3 in a row, this will go down as their toughest test because Kilkenny are playing some very, very good hurling. Limerick have been very good themselves. But, Kilkenny are just finding spaces in Limerick's fullback line that they weren't finding in the first half. Jeremy Burns, though, with an excellent score there. And Limerick go back to 2 in front. And just like that, Kilkenny level the game. You're thinking Kilkenny are on top. Limerick with 2 quick scores. And now they're 2 in front. Oh, this is a mental game. I mean, we've had nearly 50 scores and we have 20 minutes to go. It's mental. We have had 50 scores. We've had over 50 scores. And Limerick now on the ball. They're really standing up now. Galan's in possession. Should put it over the bar. Doesn't. Oh, that's a poor pass from Aaron Gallan and just puts Kilkenny on the back foot. It's fierce in around the middle. Kilkenny nearly lose it, but have it back. That was disappointing from Gallan because he just gave away possession. And Kilkenny looking for the response, but put it wide. It was very far out the pitch there from Paddy Deegan. Would have been a great score if it went over, but it doesn't. This game has been incredible, and we still have 20 minutes, and we could even have more. Extra time could even still happen here, potentially. Ryan says, how long left? We've about 20 minutes to go, and you look away 1 minute, and there's just so much going on. It looked like Limerick lost possession, but then have it back. Limerick struggling in the heat. Are they? I don't even think they are, to be honest. I just think Kilkenny have been very, very good. They've definitely been struggling in their defensive line, but that's more so because of the work that Kilkenny have done. And Kilkenny get ran out over on the sideline there. Billy Ryan. I mean, everything Kilkenny have thrown at Limerick have found the response. Look at that bit of work there from Nicky Quaid, keeping the ball going out over on the sideline. David Reedy's come on, made a big impact the last day. Dara Donovan goes off. Limerick, Kilkenny have had a lot of responses from their bench. Limerick are making changes for the first time now in the game. Hegarty, a fantastic block down again from Kilkenny, this time from Paddy Deegan. Limerick will fire back for 5 minutes, but hit the wall again in 10. Yeah, look, Kilkenny are definitely not going away. Look at this block from Paddy Deegan. Unbelievable. I mean, Hegarty's had his number in this game. But that was a brilliant block from Deegan. Limerick with the short puck out, but nothing really doing there. Kilkenny now in possession. Kilkenny need a response now. It's been a couple of minutes since they've scored. They go long. They've certainly started to get a bit more joy with that long ball, but not this time around. Mike Casey winning it. And Limerick now working it up the field. There's a lot of space here for Aaron Gallan. Or for Shamey Flanagan. He has to score. And he does. Tom Morrissey, I should say. There's so many players scoring. It's hard to keep up. But Tom Morrissey scores. And that's the thing, is that Limerick, they've had a 3 to 4 point lead for the majority of this game. Kilkenny get a goal. John Donnelly gets a point. Kilkenny bring it back to bring it back level, and then Limerick get the next 3 scores, and now it's back to 3 points again. It's a bit of a ruck here in the middle at the minute. Both sides trying to get on the ball. Kilkenny do have possession. Do they lose possession? It's just absolutely mental in there. Limerick have eventually come away with it. The substitute, Hegarty. And now Limerick working it inside into Flanagan, or into Gallan, I should say, but Kilkenny come away with it again. Owen Murphy. Kilkenny going direct again. Oh, Kilkenny, Limerick's defensive line has done a great job there. Brilliant again. Look at that from Declan Hannon. What a game this is. Hannon going long into David Reedy. Both sides so physical and just trying absolutely everything possible to win the ball back. It's a bit of a lull at the minute. Both sides are just turning each other over. I don't know what's happened here. I think the ref is just going to throw the ball in, and he does. Kilkenny look like they have it. Brilliant sort of pressure from Tom Morrissey. Kilkenny go out down the end line, but ref has spotted something here. Chance for Kilkenny. It's a long way out the field. Plenty of comments flying in here. If you could smash the like button and subscribe. I mean, this has been an absolutely mental game, and there will be a match reaction out as well after the match and everything else, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Sharon says Limerick turning the screw. They have since Kilkenny responded anyway. Kilkenny haven't scored in about 5 or 6 minutes now, so they kind of need to get a point here. And here's Mossy Keown. He's done very well. He's done very well. Works it inside. Limerick are doing well defensively though. Now Paddy Deegan, he just runs into a brick wall, and that's surely going to be over carrying, but not given. And Dermot Burns now runs away with possession. Limerick always find another gear. They do, and Jesus, Nicky Quaid playing a bit dangerous there. Nearly loses possession. I mean, it's just mental. Like, the Kilkenny forwards are chasing after absolutely everything. Limerick are chasing after absolutely everything. It's end to end, and neither side is tiring. And it's just Limerick now forcing Kilkenny nearly with a turnover. Kilkenny have possession now, I think. How much time left? 14 minutes plus injury time. I'd say, I don't know how much injury time there'll be, but it's been a while since Kilkenny have scored. Must be about 6 or 7 minutes now. Kilkenny haven't scored since the 48th minute, and that was when John Donnelly levelled the game. So nearly 10 minutes without a score for Kilkenny. Limerick, in fairness, haven't scored since the 53rd, so 3 minutes without a score for them. I wonder if Kilkenny are going to go for the point here. It's just above the 65 or below the 65. A long way out the field here for TJ Reid. This would be an absolute monster score if he puts it over. And he gets it. Wonderful score from TJ Reid. Unbelievable stuff. Kilkenny back to 2 points. And this is, I mean, extra time is a realistic possibility here, you know. Everyone worried about the heat. Yeah, like, I haven't seen the heat affecting anyone so far. And Limerick now looking for a response, and they do find a response. And what a wonderful score from Tom Morrissey, who's starting to step it over in the second half. And Limerick now 127, Kilkenny 126. Is it 126 or 27? 126, I think. Kilkenny, you just cannot take your eyes off this game. Kilkenny now in possession of Limerick, turn them over. Bit of space here for Paddy Deegan, runs into trouble, but the ref has called a foul. I mean, it looked like Paddy Deegan just ran into his man there, to be fair. Kilkenny will have a chance. Aaron Dunn very persistent there about who you think is winning. Is Kilkenny not a Gaelic football team? Definitely not. Definitely not. So TJ Reid goes for the score, puts it over the bar. Kilkenny back to 2 points again. I mean, I think this has been the best All-Ireland final of all time, potentially in all codes. You know, this has been unbelievable. Owen Cody's gone off. Is it Richie Hogan who's come on, I think? Didn't quite see who came on there. It is Richie Hogan who's come on. One last hurrah potentially for him. A wide there from Tom Morrissey, who's started to get a lot of possession in the second half. About 10 minutes to go. 11 minutes to go, you could say. Who do I think is winning? Well, Limerick are winning, so, you know, it doesn't really matter who I think is winning. I do think Limerick will win, if that's your question. I think Limerick will find enough. They always find a way, and everything that Kilkenny have thrown at Limerick so far, they've found an answer. And there's another brilliant score this time around, Billy Ryan. I mean, see, the thing is, like, Kilkenny have never led in the game. Do you know, like, Limerick have been in front for the entirety of the game. They scored the opening point of the game. You know, Kilkenny have never led in the game. They're 1 point behind now, though, you know, with 10 minutes to go. Big puck out here for Nicky Quaid. Goes long. Limerick win it. And now they're going for a score. I mean, this is like a basketball match in many ways. Both sides just going end to end. And Limerick now with a score. And it's a substitute, David Reedy, I think, who's gone in on the act. And Limerick move back 2 points to the good again. Or is it? Because Hawkeye is going to have a look here. And the ref's also taken out a card, I think, is he? Let's have a look. Looks in. Nil. That looked in. Or was it in? So it's wide. So Limerick don't go 2 points to the good. It stays as a 1 point game. Looked like maybe that crept in from what I could see. And Hawkeye's going to have a look here. I mean, I think that's over the bar. Has Hawkeye made another big mistake there? I think they might have. So, yeah, I mean, Hawkeye's let itself down again. Jesus. Fucking hell. I mean, if it goes down to a 1 point game, that's shocking. I mean, I couldn't really see it there, but I'd be interested to see what they're saying in commentary. Like, it definitely did look like that was over the bar. And Kilkenny now will have a chance to respond, but they don't. That's a big, big wide. Big, big wide there from Kilkenny. They had a chance. The puck out just about gets itself to Call Hayes, who goes deep. It's breaking everywhere. Kilkenny come away with it, though. Kilkenny. And is this the chance? Is this the chance to level it? And it is. It's over the bar. It's a wonderful score from the substitute. Richie Hogan, I think, who's got the score. A wonderful, wonderful point from Richie Hogan. And Kilkenny have leveled it. How much time is left? There's about 7 minutes plus injury time. And it's level. Kilkenny have never led in the game as well. Let's not forget that. Kilkenny have never led at any point in this game. Now Limerick going down the other end with a point. That looks over the bar, and it's a brilliant score from Call Hayes. And Limerick, every time Kilkenny throws something at them, Limerick find the response, and they found the response again. 127 to 222. Absolutely incredible. Cathal O'Neill's coming on now for Limerick. Tom Morrissey's gone off. This is really now like a war of attrition, especially in this heat. Like, who's going to make the difference coming off the bench? In fairness, neither side is tiring with this heat at all. It's incredible. And Kilkenny now looking to find a response, but the ball breaks down. Mike Casey has it. Does he have it? He does have it. And he plays it in. Limerick in possession. Do they lose it? They just about retain it. Call Hayes. He's dropped a lot deeper now. But the ball breaks down, and Kilkenny have it venturing forward with Richie Hogan. Goes long. Is this a response for Kilkenny? They're working it inside. There might be maybe a chance here for a goal. But it looks like Limerick have defended it. Oh, this is nervy. But Limerick have it. And they come out with the ball. Into Call Hayes. Now into the substitute. Is that going to go over the bar? It is going over the bar. I think, is it? Hawkeye again. Hawkeye again, I think. Well, let's see if Hawkeye doesn't bottle it again. It was the substitute. Yeah, Miles over. So that's definitely a score from Cathal O'Neill, the substitute. So Limerick's bench making an impact, and Limerick back 2 points in front. So every time Kilkenny get back level, every time Kilkenny find an answer, Limerick then find an answer. It was over the bar from the TV angle. It definitely did look over. In regards to that earlier point. So like Limerick really should be 3 points in front here. An overhit pass. Oh, what a wonderful bit of skill there from Jeremy Burns. But Kilkenny do have the ball. And are they going to get themselves a score? Oh, they've played it in. Jesus, that was a real chance, and it could have really ended up anywhere. Kilkenny, what a real chance there, but Limerick now looking for a response, and they find the response as well. It's a wonderful score this time around from another substitute. This time around, it is Conor Boylan who's got on the score sheet, and Limerick 3 points to the good. And do Kilkenny have an answer here now? Because it's just starting to get away from them again. And it might be, that time where you need to start going for goals. 129 to 222. And a lovely turn. And again, is this going to be a fourth? It is a 4th point in a row for Limerick. Another response again. And they're just starting to find the answer now. Or was it over? It looks like it looked over, but the ref is giving it wide. So stays as a 3-point game. You thought maybe that was the match ball, and now Kilkenny respond. But it looks wide, and it is wide. How long is there left? There's 3 minutes plus injury time. So Kilkenny needing something here because they're 3 points down. They should be 4 points down because of that point, and Limerick now have won the free. It was a foul. Kilkenny look like they're just starting to tire a little bit now, like they're losing possession and giving away reckless fouls. It was Call Hayes venturing forward there, and this will surely be a point here for Aaron Gallan. Limerick will have the opportunity to go 4 to the good here. You would have to imagine. On the Cat says Ocean Gamer. I mean, they're not out of it. Look, they still have a chance. 4 points doesn't mean anything, and that's a great score from Aaron Gallan from the free. So Limerick 4 points to the good. Kilkenny need to respond now, and it's getting to that stage where I think they need a goal. They need another goal. Owen Murphy's gone long. But Limerick are winning those balls now, and they're just getting first to everything, and Declan Hannon's played it in. And if it was Gallan there, Kilkenny win that. It was Gallan versus Lawler inside there. If he had caught that, Gallan, I mean, it would have been 1v1. It's a dangerous ball into Owen Murphy. Kilkenny playing with fire in many ways, but Murphy does come out with it. Plays it long. Referee spotted a foul. Plenty of comments flying in there, so much appreciated. 238 people watching, so if you could hit the like button and subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. There will be a match reaction out after. Plenty. Will be a podcast tomorrow breaking down these games and the ladies' football games as well in more detail. So stay tuned for that. And here you go, Kilkenny now. They lose possession, and you see all the Limerick lads jumping around, and that's usually the sign that that Limerick have this, and I do think they have this at this point now. It's going to be tough for Kilkenny just going into extra time. 5 points, not 4, says Dara. It says 4 points on the scoreboard. I mean, unless I'm missing something. Nada says, just want to ask if TJ scored. Yeah, I think he's got about 8 points in the game, or possibly a little bit more. We'll have a look now. 9 points in the game, TJ Reid. So he's had a good game, to be fair. Jeremy Burns going along here. Plays it in. Excellently won. Kilkenny needs something here. They need a goal. They have 4 minutes of injury time to do something, and it has just looked like Kilkenny have tired in the last couple of moments, and Limerick just look like they have the answer. Hegarty again. Connor says it's a 5-point game. It says 4 points on the scoreboard on RTE though, so you know, like I can only follow the score that's shown to me there. Limerick do score again though, so a 5-point or a 6-point game. I really don't know. Like, it says 5 points here on RTE watching it, so unless I'm missing something. Aaron says Kilkenny, come on. Yeah, I mean, they need something now. Like, they need a miracle, really. And fair play. Look, they've given Limerick as good as a test as anyone has in the last 3 years, but it's looking like Limerick are going to do the 3 in a row. Kilkenny now looking for a score, and they do get one. That's a good point. Back to 4 or 5 points. I really don't know at this stage, but from looking at the score on RTE, it says 4. So, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, unless they did give that Hawkeye point, I mean, I'm obviously watching here with no commentary, so. But either way, like, regardless, there's 2 minutes left of injury time. I just think Kilkenny have too much to do here in the last 2 minutes. As long as Limerick win this puck out, they should have enough. David Reedy, the referee, getting in the way. Kilkenny come out with the ball, working it long. They need a goal here. Are they going to go for the point? I think they're going to go for the point. And they do. Good score. Back to 3. They need to win this ball, and they need a goal. And they do win the ball. Can Kilkenny do something here? Can they do something quite magical? And they get another score, back to 2. This time, it's the other substitute. And Kilkenny now just rallying a little bit late on. They've hit 3 without reply. David Blanchfield, who came off the bench, he's got on the score. Ryan Cody, fist in the air. There we go. That should hopefully fix it. Doesn't look like there's enough time here anyway for Kilkenny. They need to hit the ball long. Do they have enough time? Cody's going absolutely mental. Kilkenny are going absolutely mental. Do they have time? It's a 2-point game. Limerick have the ball. Limerick win the sideline. John Coyley there saying to the Limerick lads to keep their heads, to not do anything silly. Limerick win the sideline ball, but or Kilkenny win the sideline ball, but is there time? We've played 30 seconds over injury time now. There can't be much left. There can't be much left at all. I can't imagine the ref is going to allow much here. And the ref is blowing the whistle, and Limerick have done it. They've won the All-Ireland 131-226. Limerick have done it again. 3 in a row. Limerick, they are the modern day Kilkenny in many ways, because Limerick once again find an answer. 4 All-Irelands in 5 years now. They are the greatest hurling team of this era. Make no mistake about it. 3 in a row. Brian Cody, absolutely devastated. I mean, his Kilkenny side gave absolutely everything. But once again, just as always, Limerick find the answer. And they always find the answer. They always find a way, by hook or by crook. I mean, when Kilkenny got those goals, you thought maybe Kilkenny might sneak it. Kilkenny brought it back level. But Kilkenny were never in front in the game. Limerick were always the side in the ascendancy. They were always the side in front. And again, find the answer. Absolutely incredible from Limerick. Cian Lynch watching on there as well in crutches. Obviously, he couldn't play any part in today's final. Brian Cody, absolutely devastated. 3 finals he's lost now since the 2015 All-Ireland. I do think he can, hold his head up high, to be fair, because it's been a brilliant display from Kilkenny. They've really, really given it to Limerick, as good as anyone has given it to Limerick in the last 3 years. But Limerick, again, David Reedy coming off the bench scoring points. Cathal O'Neill gets a point. Conor Boylan gets a point. They just find an answer. They just find an answer by hook or by crook. There was stages in that game where Kilkenny were starting to win those half battles, starting to win ball around Limerick's half-back line, starting to get in behind them once or twice as well. But then Limerick just started to get the ascendancy again and just started like Declan Hannon and Dan Morrissey winning a lot of ball and finding the answer. It was incredible. And Limerick have done it. They're the All-Ireland champions for a 4th time in 5 years. And could the 5 in a row be on? Could the 4 in a row be on? I mean, look, they've done 3 in a row now. They've done half the battle. So, Limerick, what an achievement. Absolutely brilliant. Leo says, see you next week for a football final. Absolutely. We will be doing a watch-along for the football final next weekend. I will have my Galway jersey on for that one. So I'm very, very excited to see Galway win the All-Ireland. But today is about Limerick. Today is very much about Limerick. And that was a huge, huge win to come through. I mean, Kilkenny, they were so close, weren't they? They were so close. They had so many great moments in the game. And, Limerick, a bit like Kilkenny of old, maybe 10, 15 years ago, when Galway were trying to make the breakthrough, Tipperary, but it wasn't meant to be. And it was Limerick who deliver and get the job done. And what an absolute sensational game of hurling. I mean, that was unbelievable. But anyway, cheers to anyone who tuned in to the live watch along. Much appreciated. If you could hit the like button and subscribe. If you're new, it'd be much appreciated. There will be a match reaction out in about 10, 15 minutes time to discuss this game in further detail. So if you do enjoy this content, much appreciated. We will be looking at Twitter reactions as well a little bit later and sort of the discussion around that. So stay tuned for that. That video will be out tomorrow, as well as a podcast with Matthew Hurley from the GAA Statsman podcast. Will be running through this game as well as some of the ladies football camogie action as well. So if you have enjoyed this content, hit the goddamn like button and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And congratulations to Limerick, All-Ireland champions once again. And I'll see you later.